Welcome to Inclusivity Unlocked, the podcast that's all about inclusion and diversity, brought to you by the Association Explorator. And we're chatting with you right from our studio in Craiova, and together we'll make sure that tricky isms and complex terms from the world of inclusion become a part of your everyday life. Okay, now it's time to unlock. And here in our podcast studio with special guest Vlad. Vlad actually is my colleague. And he's a native Romanian speaker. In our association, we really need those people because they connect us with locals. And how are you doing, Vlad?
I'm doing well.
And in the podcast before, we've talked a lot about how challenging it might be to adapt to a new culture. And while speaking with Elian, for example, we kept coming back to how essential the language skills are when you're settling into a new country. So we decided to record this podcast with Vlad for those who have come to Romania and plan to stay here for longer. And in the first part of the podcast, we will try to play around a bit and present you some essential Romanian phrases that you might needs in everyday life and make your interactions smoother. To keep it engaging, we prepared a short dialogue simulating our first meeting, and there you will find some introductions, greetings, small talk, like chit-chat. Then we'll dive into some common mistakes that learners make while they're speaking Romanian. And we believe that it will help you because while you're aware of those difficulties, it will be much easier for you to avoid them. And finally, together with me, we will go on a small journey through the history of Romanian language, highlighting what makes it unique. Because really, this language is very unique and has different roots. And maybe you might feel more involved and connected with this language if you will know its history a bit. So, okay, let's dive into it. Let's try to play this dialogue out.
Salut, eu sunt Vlad.
Bună, mă numesc Asya.
Încântat de cunoștință.
Și eu sunt încântată de cunoștință.
Ce faci?
Bine, tu ce faci?
Bine, mulțumesc. Ce faci în România?
Fac voluntariat pentru comunitate, un podcast pentru incluziune.
Ce interesant. Unde mai exact?
În Craiova, la Casa Studenților.
Ce planuri de viitor ai?
Nu știu. Încerc să găsesc un job potrivit. Povestește despre tine. De unde ești?
Eu sunt din Craiova.
Ce îți place să faci în timpul liber?
Îmi place să vizitez locuri culturale, parcul romanescu, muzeele, să merg la cafenele și la sală.
Sunt total de acord. Călătorești mult în ultima vreme?
Da, am participat la proiecte de voluntariat în străinătate. Am fost vara trecută în Grecia. De asemenea, am lucrat o perioadă în Olanda.
Super! De asemenea, eram interesată să încerc să trăiesc în străinătate.
Vreau să te întreb, ai încercat până acum mâncarea tradițională românească?
Da, eu am încercat mămăligă, ciorbă de perișoare, mici, placintă, covrig, coltunaș cu șuncă. Eu prefer covrigul cu semințe.
Ai încercat și sarmale?
Nu am încercat sarmale, trebuie să le gust.
Sunt delicioase, mai ales cu smântână.
Ce locuri din țară, din România, îți plac?
Delta Dunării este un loc unic plin de biodiversitate. E un paradis pentru iubitorii de natură și pentru păsări. Și tu?
Îmi place foarte mult Transilvania, în special orașele Sibiu și Brașov. Au o istorie fascinantă.
Asta sună minunat. Trebuie să mergem data viitoare și aș vrea să călătoresc împreună cu tine.
Sigur, ar fi foarte distractiv.
Trebuie să plec acum, dar a fost foarte plăcut să vorbesc cu tine. Ne vedem!
Pa! O zi bună! It was a small dialogue for you. I'm sorry if my Romanian didn't sound that natural. I am still myself in the process of learning it and studying. But I wish you will find some useful words for yourself that you can use. And together with Vlad, we will try to discuss now some common challenges that learners face. So you will be prepared. I think the main challenge, especially in the beginning, is the pronunciation, because there are some sounds that you can't find in other languages. Like we used sh, ц a lot. Maybe we can give some examples, like...
Șervețel.
What is that?
It's a napkin.
It's useful, yeah. Also, I know școala. It's also sh. Also ц, țara, we used in our dialogue. Also, there are combinations of letters that make pretty different sounds rather than in different languages, like ceci. Maybe we can also name some words.
Cecilia.
Okay.
It's a name. Cezar. Or the word ce.
Ce.
Means what?
Yeah. Cine, who.
Yeah.
Also very common. Also Gegi.
Gheorghe.
Also the name.
It's a name. Gheață.
Gheața.
Which means ice. Ghiozdan.
Ghiozdan.
Backpack.
Okay. Kike. It's also a combination.
A chema.
Achema.
To go. Chiar.
Chiar.
Like right.
And there is JG left.
In my opinion, it's like just once you need to memorize all those combinations just to read it first, and then with time you will just more naturally understand how to use it. Also, there are grammar complications, and we won't dive into the timing and the sentences like past or future because it is complicated. But for me, what's also a little bit hard is defined and undefined articles. You won't find in any other language, I believe, in Latin language, the defined article that you can understand is defined because it changes the ending of the word. For example, cartea, like the book, which will be carte, if it's like
Book.
a book.
Book.
But if it's the book, you would put cartea.
Carte.
Like, or if it's masculine, maybe we can also make an example because it will have the ending of ul also, always, not always, like usually. Băiat, băiatul, right?
Yeah.
If we're talking about man. And also it changes if it's plural, like the ending of the word you really need to think before saying something. You kind of need to process in your head which will be the ending. And about the endings, it's also about gender. Because there are three genders, masculine, feminine, and neutral, for example, as in French, and in the other Latin languages. So we need all the time to think of number and gender when we're thinking about the noun or an adjective. And of course, with the verbs, we also conjugate them.
Yeah, some challenges might be the grammar. In the grammar, like the perfect, imperfect, how it is like, I don't know, spelled, formed.
Do you learn now yourself any languages?
Yeah, actually I'm learning Dutch and German.
Nice. It's a really hard choice. I think it might be even harder, I think, than Romanian, but it's great. And did it help you to learn language while you're abroad?
I practiced Dutch every time while I was in Netherlands. I spoke Dutch. I have been speaking Dutch every day with the people, with the native people from there, and I improved my language skills by doing so.
For me, it just really gives the feeling that I'm more at my place. What I mean is that I feel more connected with the country somehow. And also, it's nice when you're in a bus and someone is saying something to you randomly or in a shop, and you at least can catch some words and understand what they meant. Because I'm just getting tired all the time to say "nu vorbești română," like I don't speak Romanian, and I really at some points I'm getting really frustrated. Why am I here and I still can't? So putting an effort of learning the language, I think it can really help you just to feel yourself more safe and more connected with the country. Have you felt anything like this?
Yeah, I felt more connected to the country and to the people when I spoke in that language, when I talked with them in that language, because they also see you in a better way than other immigrants when you are knowing their language properly.
Or at least like put in an effort. At
Or
least
at
in
least, yeah.
Romanian it works like this, like people just see you kind of interested and that you're not just using the country for your own purposes, you're also trying to be here. Like
Yeah, they really appreciate that a lot.
it's obviously more beneficial to learn rather than just say to yourself, it's so complicated, it's better not to touch it. The reason why we talked about all those complications, just to somehow give a clue to newcomers that it won't be easy, but on another hand, you can totally go through them, through these challenges. Because it will bring you some joy, some interest. For me as a Russian speaker, it's great to find some common roots. For me, it's like a game sometimes. I'm learning like new words and I'm thinking, oh, I already know it because it has the same roots. Or it's also interesting to think of Ottoman Empire affecting Romania and somehow the Turkish originally word or the words from that period came both to Russian language and to Romanian language, even though they're not both Romanian or Russian at all. Like it's just some third language that affected everyone. And that seems crazy sometimes to think about. But this is how it's also my technique in a way. Then I'm just getting bored of just learning and doing some paperwork. I mean, exercises of grammar, or I'm trying to interact, entertain myself and interact with the language so it can be more fun. Maybe you also have some techniques of yours to learn.
Yeah, I watch like movies with subtitles. I learn new words by hearing what they are saying and reading the subtitles. I watch videos on YouTube in other languages, and I write my new words, the new words on a paper or on a notebook.
Yeah, for me it's pretty much the same. I mean, I need to both write and try to repeat myself. I think it's important practice. And also it's crazy that inside your head sometimes you're like perfect in this language while you're reading, but then when you're trying to pronounce, somehow it's hard to your mouth to do the movement. And I'm like, but in my head I'm so great, but when I'm trying to say something and it's like in Romanian, like my mouth doesn't work that well. So yeah, but if we're talking about learning Romanian, there are some great I think YouTube videos already existing, and the one I'm really enjoying is Easier Romania, because they're going to people with microphones and like, what's your opinion about that? And it's all in Romanian with subtitles. But in general, I think EC projects are also a cool way to learn, because sometimes during this volunteering, they provide you with language courses. It was with us as well. I think it just depends like where you go and what teacher you get. But there is also an opportunity to learn. So I would say that, of course, it's not the main goal of European Solidarity Corps for you to learn the language, but it can be the additional benefit of your volunteering journey. Vlad, thank you so much for joining us. Maybe we can say something in Romanian for the end. Maybe we can wish our listeners a good day or a good week.
Mulțumim pentru că ați vizionat podcastul nostru și vă dorim o zi plăcută în continuare.
Welcome to the third part of our podcast. It's me, Asya, again, and I will try to guide you through the incredible history of Romanian language as far as I know it. And Romanian language is a Romance language, which means it evolved from Latin, much like as Italian, French, or Spanish, Portuguese as well. However, Romanian stands out from those languages because it developed largely isolated from other Romance languages, absorbing influences from neighboring countries and surrounding neighborhoods of Slavic, Greek, Hungarian, and Turkish-speaking people. The unique history has given Romania its distinct vocabulary, phonology, and grammar. So let's go to origins and the development. The foundation of Romanian language was laid when Romans conquered Dacia in 106 AD under the Emperor Trajan. Latin became the dominant language in the region, merging with local dialects over time. After the Roman Empire withdrew from Dacia in the 3rd century AD, Latin spoken in the region evolved independently from other Romance languages. What I mean is that Spain, Italy, France, they still been connected and people living together. But Romania, on the other hand, was isolated and surrounded by Slavic languages that are still spoken in Balkans, and as well as Greek and Hungarian. But what are those Latin roots we're talking about? Where can we hear it right now? So, for example, the most common is mama. Yeah, it's the same Latin mama. And lup, lupus in Latin. Pâine, which is bread, is from Latin panis. Foc, which is fire in Romanian, from Latin focus. Let's move to medieval period, and we'll talk deeper about the Slavic influences. So starting from 6th century, Slavic tribes migrated to Eastern Europe, including areas where Romanian was spoken. Slavic became an influential language in the region, and still nowadays 10-15% of Romanian vocabulary has Slavic roots. Isn't it fascinating? Usually those words there related to religion, because also there was old church, and politics, daily life. For example, prieten, which is friend in Romanian, have the Slavic roots, as well as the word a iubi, bogat. Bogat is rich. Razboi, which is war. And again, as a person speaking Russian language, we also have the word razboi, but we use it in a different manner. It's more about robbery on a street. So you can see that the meanings are different, but the general idea is still there in Slavic roots. Also, drag, which is dear or beloved in Romania, draga mea, dragul meu. It's also Slavic, has Slavic roots. Or ciudat, strange. Moving forward, Romania was under the influence of Ottoman Empire from 15th to 19th century. All the Romanian principalities retained some authority. Still, Turkish words came to Romanian language, and usually they're related to trade, commerce, administrational issues, and daily life. So we can think about chai, which is tea, yaurt, yogurt, bakshish, yeah, it's a tip, chestie, which is thing or matter, from Turkish çay, çorba, the famous Romanian soup, is also connected with Turkish çorba. 19th century, Latin revival. We should remember that 19th century in general, it's a period of nationalization all over Europe, nationalistic ideas spreading around, and of course Romania wanted to reinforce its Latin heritage, and they wanted to purify the language by removing many Slavic and Turkish words and replacing with the terms derived from Latin or connected with Latin roots. At the same time, there was a shift in 1860s from Cyrillic alphabet to Latin alphabet, further aligning Romania with its Latin heritage. So the written language was also different. And at this point, the words like libertate, which is freedom, educație, which is education, comerț, which is commerce, industrie, industry, or justiție, which is justice, came into the Romanian language. Modern era, or a period for the Romania when they make a standard. We know from the history of Romania that in 1859, Wallachia and Moldavia, they unified to become one Romanian state. And Romania developed as a country at this point. And by 20th century, Romania became the official language of new nation state. And of course, with this state, the new reforms were made. And there was an educational reform that prompted a standard in language. By 20th century, a lot of new objects came by. So Romania appropriated them from other Latin countries. And this is how we got mașina, car, telephone, or even internet with time. We won't dive into dialects that exist in Romanian language because there are plenty of those in different regions of Romania or around the country. Romanian continues to evolve, and nowadays in contemporary Romanian, new words being adopted from English, particularly connected with job fields, as in any other language. Technology, business, and pop culture words connected with those spheres, we're mostly getting them from English. So to sum up, Romanian nowadays is a language that around 24 million people speak, because we're talking not only about Romania as a country, we're also talking of Republic of Moldova. Of course, Romanian is one of the official languages of the European Union and widely used and spoke outside Romanian too. And I wish you enjoyed this part of the podcast where we discussed the intriguing Romanian language. And please write in the comments if you know some additional information of Romanian language development. I would really like to discuss those topics with you in the section below. And please subscribe on our channel to support our activity. That was all for today, and we'll see you next time to unlock the new topic. Bye!